couple with 37-year age gap planned to have a baby. They had courted for a year, finally getting married even though they had a 37-year gap between them. He knew he loved her and would do anything to see her smile. But when she told him she wanted them to have a child of their own, he knew storm clouds were circling over their future. Finding one's soulmate can be a challenging endeavor, especially with how many people there are in the world today. With more than 4 billion adults to pick from, it becomes a little daunting to root out the one you were meant to call yours forever. For Karan McCain, the prospect of a soulmate was something he had always looked forward to. He did not know when it would happen or what fruits it would bring to his life. He only closed his eyes and took a leap of faith. Karan was only 15 when he first met Cheryl McGregor. The year was 2012, and Karan worked at a Dairy Queen in Rome, Georgia. Karan and Cheryl did not kick it off immediately. Karan only saw Cheryl, who was 52, drive by in her blue Carrera whenever she came to visit her son, who was Karan's manager. Karan did not think much about Cheryl, only noting that she was always smiling. Little did he know that the universe was offering him a sneak peek at his future. Karan eventually switched jobs, leaving behind his post at the Dairy Queen for greener pastures. The years went by, 9, to be exact. And on November 4, 2021, Karan, tired and hungry in his apartment, decided to go grocery shopping at a convenience store across the city. He got his grocery list, coat, and keys and hopped into his car, driving off with no knowledge of how much his life was about to change. Karan parked his car and walked to the nearest convenience store. There was nothing extraordinary about the mart, yet Karan felt like something special lay in wait for him. He decided to pay this feeling no mind, walking in and quickly filling his basket. He made his way across the busy aisles, but as he turned toward the store's checkout, that feeling fired within him once more. It was a warm sensation that bloomed up his spine. He wondered what was happening to him. Karan paused in his tracks, the aisles around him seemingly turning quiet as his eyes trained around the store. His sight fell on the cashier at the checkout station before him. His heart skipped a beat, and he faltered back. Cheryl, how could it be? Powerful memories flooded Karan's mind, Cheryl's smile from 9 years past, and her loving gaze whenever she visited and conversed with her son. Looking at her now, Karan noticed that something was amiss. Cheryl had always been a happy person, yet now her cheeks bore streams of tears. Karan placed his grocery basket aside and slowly neared the checkout station. He asked Cheryl why she was sad, to which she replied that she had uploaded a video on TikTok and some people were leaving mean comments on it. He knew he had to do something about it. Karan comforted Cheryl, even going as far as shooting some dancing videos with her on TikTok. Their friendship blossomed, giving rise to a spiritual fondness that Karan had never experienced in his life. As he was unsure of what to make of everything that was happening to him, he decided to talk to Cheryl about it. He took Cheryl to dinner at their favorite restaurant, where he would share this burning issue with his friend. He hoped his confession would not end their relationship. Karan told Cheryl he had developed feelings for her. He was stunned when she revealed she felt the same way. Tears beaded Karan's eyes. Even though he was 37 years younger than Cheryl, he knew his soulmate was sitting across the table from him. Karan and Cheryl courted, with their friendship blooming into a happy marriage a year later. But with this new status came a terrible realization on both their parts. Cheryl wanted a child with Karan, telling him that even though she already had 7 children, most of who were older than Karan himself, she wanted one they could call their own. The pair decided to try getting pregnant, but to no avail. They found out that Cheryl's body could not conceive, let alone sustain a pregnancy given her advanced years. The couple was devastated. Karan spent many days wondering how he could solve their problem. His love for Cheryl could not allow him to watch her suffer. He began scouring the internet, books, and television shows, searching for ways he and his wife could successfully conceive. He couldn't find anything. On the verge of giving up, something good came his way. Karan learned of the possibility of surrogacy and adoption, procedures that would allow him and Cheryl to have a child. Overjoyed, he rushed to share the news with her. Cheryl hugged him tightly, thanking him for all the happiness he had brought into her life. She agreed to either of the procedures, embracing Karan tighter. The couple began fleshing out their plan to populate their house with kids. As someone who grew up in a warm, loving family, Karan wanted the same for the young one who was to come into their life. While hashing out the finer points of both procedures, another glaring problem cropped up for the two. When would the trouble end? The closest people to Cheryl who could successfully become surrogates for her and Karan, Cheryl's daughters, had hysterectomies. Even though this new development threatened to break these Karan and Cheryl, they did not bend an inch. They doubled down and continued their research, discovering that someone outside Cheryl's family could become their surrogate. With the future looking brighter than ever, Karan sat down with Cheryl. He stared into her eyes, seeing the young soul within her elderly body. A loving smile birthed across his face, and he took her soft hands in his. He did not say anything to her, only silently thanked the world that he had met his soulmate. It is something that most across the globe will never experience.